I'm Ann-Marie Murrell, and I am at the beautiful Terranea Resort in Rancho Palos Verdes. And for all of you out there who don't understand why I live where I live, this is pretty much the reason right here. And today I am honored to have been asked by the David Horowitz Freedom Center to represent PolitiChicks at their West Coast retreat. And I've interviewed some amazing conservative politicians and pundits. I can't wait to share it with you right here on PolitiChicks.tv. One of the foremost experts on Islam in America and Islamophobia and Islamization, whatever you want to call it, is Mr. Robert Spencer. I'm very, very glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you. Thank you very much.
I want to start by talking about the attacks on Congresswoman Bachmann and Louis Gohmert and people that tried to point out that there are direct ties to the Muslim Brotherhood in the White House. Why won't they investigate? Why were they attacked?
Well, they won't investigate because Congresswoman Bachmann is right. And they won't investigate because there is Muslim Brotherhood infiltration, and Muslim Brotherhood infiltrators are keeping the investigation from happening.
How can they do that? This is America.
Well, it's been done. I mean, one of the chief people who was against Bachmann and made sure that an investigation wouldn't happen was Keith Ellison, her fellow congressman from Minnesota. And Keith Ellison is the first Muslim congressman. He's very tied into the Muslim Brotherhood. He's close to Hamas, that is the Hamas-linked Council on American Islamic Relations. Nihad Awad, the founder and the leader of the Council on American Islamic Relations, endorsed him, fundraised for him. Ellison also accepted $13,350 from the Muslim American Society, which is the chief arm of the Muslim Brotherhood in America, to go on the pilgrimage to Mecca. Imagine if a congressman had accepted $13,000 from the Ku Klux Klan for anything. But nobody seems to mind this because the other Muslim Brotherhood infiltrators into the U.S. government and make sure that no investigation happens and no questioning either. What's even more ironic about this is that just a few weeks ago, an Egyptian paper wrote about how Muslim Brotherhood infiltrators into the U.S. government had changed the U.S. from being the foremost enemy of Muslims to being the foremost enabler of Islamic supremacist pro-Sharia regimes in the world. And that this was done, and they named 6 people, most of whom had been named by Congresswoman Bachmann in her call for an investigation. And they were named as Muslim Brotherhood operatives. And so she was vindicated in Egypt, but can't get an investigation in America.
And she was attacked by people, including Senator John McCain, by people on our side, he was defending Huma Abedin, I guess.
Yes. Well, you know, McCain is another case. I don't think that I don't know him. He may be compromised, he may be bought, but I think he's just clueless, and I think there's a great deal of cluelessness in the U.S. government. McCain is one of the many, many, many elected officials who are completely cowed and intimidated by the charges that to investigate Muslim Brotherhood infiltration, to talk about Islamic supremacism in the U.S. is bigoted and racist and hateful. And McCain wants to be liked, things, of course, yes. And I mean, no one does. No one wants to have those accusations. Most people cower in fear and run the other way at the hint of such an accusation, and McCain is one of them.
I think it's interesting that jihadists and all these people, they say straight up that's what they are, that their intention is to get us, correct? Is that what they say, or are we just, is it a right-wing conspiracy?
It's completely plain, and the case can completely be made and has been made from their own writings. The Muslim Brotherhood in the U.S., according to a captured internal document that was released during the Holy Land Foundation trial in 2007, is dedicated in the United States, in its own words, to eliminating and destroying Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house so that it falls and Allah's religion is victorious over other religions. This is a quote from their own internal document.
From 2007, it wasn't from 100 years ago, that's now.
Yes, exactly. This was found in the Holy Land Foundation offices during the FBI raid of their offices when they were found to be funneling money, charitable contributions to Hamas. They were at one time the largest Islamic charity in the United States, but they've been shut down for this Hamas connection. And the Muslim Brotherhood, obviously this was a document that they found in the offices because the Holy Land Foundation was working on implementing it.
What do we do? Is this something, if we don't have our own government fighting this, what do we do? I know that you've been shut out of things like CPAC for nefarious reasons. I won't go into that right now, but it makes no sense why someone like you're trying to help our country, that they would shut you out on the GOP side. What's your reaction to that?
Well, that is a result of more Muslim Brotherhood influence. Grover Norquist of Americans for Tax Reform, who's an extraordinarily influential presence in the Republican Party,
and libertarian. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, because of his tax work, he has close ties to numerous people connected to the Muslim Brotherhood, and even worse, he was a close friend of Abdurrahman al-Amoudi, who was the leading moderate Muslim in the U.S. in the 90s, and who is now serving time in prison for financing al-Qaeda. And so Grover Norquist is the chief enabler in the Republican Party of Islamic supremacist and Muslim Brotherhood influence in the U.S. government. And so Republicans, because they like his tax work, they are intimidated away from doing anything about his ties to Islamic supremacists. Norquist and Suhail Khan, his protege, who is the son of a leading Muslim Brotherhood operative, Mahbub Khan, they are on the board of the American Conservative Union, which runs CPAC, and so nothing at CPAC can ever be said about Sharia and Islam and Islamization. Pamela Geller and I have been able to run events over the last few years, getting in through various ways. We got in last year through the Tea Party group that was co-sponsoring the event, but this year we were shut out, and it's clear that it's all about Norquist and Khan. Until the Republican Party cleans house of these nefarious influences, there is not going to be any significant force in Washington fighting back against Islamic supremacist infiltration.
So it's going to be 1,000 paper cuts from within that's going to bleed us dead.
Well, that very well could happen, but I still believe that there are enough free people in the United States that things are going to turn around one way or the other. As things get worse, they will paradoxically also get better, because more and more people are waking up all the time and realizing what's happening to the country. And so I actually, as odd as it may sound, have confidence for the future.
Thank you so much for your work. Jihadwatch.com.org. Jihadwatch.org. I'll put it right there. It's a brilliant website. You will be updated on everything that's happening moment to moment regarding Islam in America. And I was there in your panel last year at CPAC. It was shocking. He and Pamela Geller, they were in just a small room, hidden in the back somewhere. It makes no sense. But thank you so much.
Thank you, and I much appreciate the great work you're doing for freedom. Thank you.